Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Rune Fencer Illyia, the demo, Road to 100%. And last time, we made it all the way down here to this elevator shaft, but we're not getting on it for a very good reason. Because if we go on here, this chain is going to break, and we'll be trapped forever and unable to get back up here. So we need to go and make sure that we find everything that there is to find before we go on this elevator. So in the last episode, we found 2 new areas that we didn't reach in my previous playthrough. And we got the royal shards that we needed, but we're still missing 2 of the memory stones. So we're going to be on the hunt for that, but honestly, I don't know where they could be, man. It's possible that they were in that area before the rolling rocks, where we had to do the dodge roll into that tiny little alcove. So it's possible we might have screwed ourselves already. If that's the case, the only solution then is to just restart the playthrough. Excuse me. Well, fine, I didn't want you anyway. Hello there. Yeah, so like I was saying, we still need 2 more of the memory stones because we should have 5, or at least be able to get 5, including our starting item. But I don't know where they're going to be. It's probably going to be in some secret wall that we have to break. Let's heal up. We can't heal up because we don't have enough glyph. Alright. We got to take this nice and slow. Horn is almost gone. Speaking of the visuals, isn't that just gorgeous? Like, somebody made that. The fact that that came out of somebody's brain, and they were able to put it down on paper for other people to enjoy, is a wonderful thing. Yeah, this fight definitely changes a lot when the gates are open versus when the gates are closed. Because when the gates are closed, he'll just ram into them and knock himself out. We should probably refill our horn while I'm here. Don't be doing that. Come on now. Or that. I think we're gonna die here. Not to the skeleton. Well, that's embarrassing. Remember in the last playthrough when I died to a skeleton? That was embarrassing too. Centralian wheat. Where did we get all that from? Did I never pick that up the first time? Or did it respawn? Where are we getting all this wheat all of a sudden? Is the Ukrainian war over? What else we got to talk about? No, we don't want that. see if this makes something different. So I mentioned this game was made with Unity, and I had mentioned in my previous playthrough that I'm also a Unity dev by trade. So my first ever experience with the Unity engine actually was, I want to say, probably close to 10 years ago at this point. I was watching a Let's Play by Splattercat Gaming, in which he was playing a game called Castle Story, which, that game is friggin' awesome, man. It's a shame that they had so many bugs with it at the time, but I remember liking it so much, and Splattercat, and was it Splattercat? No, it might have been somebody else. Anyway, I'll look it up and put it on the screen for you later. Anyway, excuse me. So the host in question was talking about the game being made in Unity, and it was the first time I'd ever heard of the Unity engine, but because I liked the game so much, I thought, okay, I need to know what this engine is, and started watching tutorials on how to download it, how to use it, and was hooked ever since. Been doing game dev on and off for the better part of 10 years now, and I don't normally have a brain for coding. It's not something that comes naturally to me. Neither does this game, apparently. As I was saying, so I don't natively have a mind for coding. I'm more of a visual learner. So when everybody was off learning CSS, I was more of a WYSIWYG person, which is what you see is what you get. And I had tried things like Khan Academy, learning from that. We had programming classes in school, but I just couldn't get it for some reason. I don't know if it was because of the teachers, but for whatever reason, doing C# with Unity was pretty much the only time I was ever able to actually program anything worth a damn. And since then, I've actually become quite good at it. To the point where I've got my own games and programming apps. So for that reason, you know, the engine has a very special place in my heart. So when they talked about the recent pricing controversy, you know what, maybe we shouldn't even get into that in this episode. Wonder where our little frog friend went. We actually captured him in the last episode. Wonder what happened to him. Judging by the UI, it looks like there's more stuff that can go here, but the frog doesn't show up. Is he in the bestiary? Thosian Herald. The animated remains of an ancient Thosian officer calls for reinforcements with the aid of a large horn. I don't know if we want to get into the whole Unity controversy thing in this video. I'll probably save that for its own separate standalone thing when I have a chance to gather my thoughts. I know from speaking to the devs of this game, they weren't particularly happy about that. A lot of people threatened to leave the engine. Which is a shame, because it's still good software, regardless of what the company itself winds up doing. Do I want the frog? Oh, you know what? Maybe this is something. Need to get back to exploring, man. Still got 2 more things to find. Oh, now we gotta well, I did ask what would happen if we fought our way up here. Looks like we killed enough archers. Sentries and scouts of the Athosian army tasked with guarding outposts and checkpoints. Not a threat individually, but alongside legions of fellow archers, one doesn't have to be. Not even legions of fellow archers, just legions of other enemies, even. I guess we can just kind of cheese him on the ledge here. I was gonna say, how many hits does it take to get to the center of a skelly boy? Do we really have to climb all the way up here? You know, I might just cut this out and see you back up at the top. Of course, we need him in order to get up there. So this is actually something I figured out in the last episode, is you can actually pogo your way up using this guy. Say goodbye. You know what? That's got to be one over there. There's got to be a way to get that. But how? We got them from both sides. Oh. I see what we have to do, and I don't like it. Unless... Should probably go past him to the save point. You see it, right? We'd take damage and use that to damage boost ourselves over there. Of course, I want to get rid of one of these guys. Might be better off getting rid of the top guy. Although, I don't know. I kind of feel like he'd be easier to control. Alright, if I'm actually going to get hit by them, I need to do it strategically. Alright, the other thing I was thinking we could try is this thing kind of pushes us back. Not far enough, it seems. We can't actually jump with that. Come on, Mr. Archer. Of course, now that I want him to hit me, he's not. Come on. He's too far away. Is this anything? The classic Metroidvania style, we have to check all the walls. Is there a way that we can jump off of here? I mean, I know we can get a nice view. Wonder if I can make it from here, because where does this line up relative to... It's definitely farther, and it's higher up. Oh boy. Here we go! Apparently that does work. Thief's key. Did we come across anything where we would actually need that? I mean, that's interesting. And I guess this is how we get back in. That's interesting that you can make that, though. It doesn't look like you should be able to. But obviously the devs programmed that slot there for a reason. Should be using our potions more. We're not doing that. Should be using our riposte more, too. Instead of relying on our runic and play to our strengths, which is strength. So I have a hypothesis that I'm going to save for its own dedicated video, but it has to do with what I think happened to the Kingdom of Ethosia, and also what happened to all of the characters here. Obviously, a lot of that is going to be subject to change once the full release comes out and we get more lore. But I was showing it to Alex, and he thought it was pretty interesting. So, we'll see. Come here, Mr. Skull. I need you to give me a boost. Thank you. I was able to get it consistently before, even when I didn't want it. Now that I do want it. Like that Bruce Campbell commercial. Like, if you need it, you don't have it. If you have it, you don't need it. I need to get up there, man. Preferably without dying. Okay. Well, now I'm probably screwed. Unless I can get it off of this guy, but he seems shorter. Thank you. Right as I was about to die, too. What? Excuse me? I didn't know you could do that. Alright, we're about to die here. I'm not gonna die to another skeleton again. How did we do that? I see. So you do a dodge roll, and then you press B. Does that work for other runes as well? Oh, you know what? I'm wondering if we could have used that instead of the axe throw to hit those targets as well. Actually, having a diagonal bow shot is incredibly useful, because it means I don't have to be in line with them. I'll probably use that to hit the one archer in the horn area. Oh, you know what we need to be doing right now? Using our elixirs. We call that a gamer move. Filled up our rune as well, I think. Feel like that. It's insanely powerful. This bow is just too good, man. Now I have to go and experiment with all those other runes. Which kind of sucks in a way, because there are some that we're not going to be able to get back without restarting the run, like those bug runes. Ow. Yeah, there's the vermin rune, there's the spinning blade rune. Alright, I'm just gonna shoot you. I have to imagine they all have something similar to that. Because, like, the spear had a bunch of different moves. I know the scythe has, and whip have a lot of different moves. Oh, can we not get up there? My nemesis. Just roll past you. Because I know there's a shrine here. Thank goddess. Thank the goddess. Oh, my heart's racing right now, man. Yes, we know how to do that. Sucks having to do all this backtracking, but... Oh, you know what we could try doing? And I just saw something else that might have screwed us. We try getting this guy's rune. Try doing that diagonal attack as well. Assuming we can avoid taking damage. Whatever, I got your thing, that's all I care about. Alright, so roll. Wow. That just became more viable. Alright, so I made it past that guy. We wound up saving at the shrine here. I just checked my notes again. Definitely says that we need 2 more stones before we go on the elevator. But I don't know where we're gonna get them from. And something else I saw at the corner of my eye before that may be giving us another one-way roadblock is this area here. Because we can't get back up there. He's just kind of stuck on that. Aw. Yeah, because we can't get back up this way. Not unless we can use the ball, which I don't think we can. So we may just have to go forward without it, and hope that maybe my notes were wrong. We did get the other royal shards, though, so that's a thing. There are other areas to explore. So it may be the case that we have to restart the demo after this, in which case, if we do, I'll fast forward through some of the stuff that we already did if it's not particularly new. But we'll keep going forward otherwise for now. Yeah, seeing that spinning move makes the dagger a lot more viable. Assuming I can use it correctly. And not get my ass handed to me by skeletons. Let's see what this one's dodge roll is. Apparently it's death. Let's try it in a safer environment. Interesting. Doesn't seem to have one. Okay. And maybe not all of them have a dodge roll ability. But we know the bow does, we know the dagger does. In that case, I kind of want the dagger more now. I know you're gonna attack me. Thank you. Alright, so I was shitting on the dagger before, but it's actually pretty OP. Assuming you can get that one move off. Otherwise, it is pretty shitty. Here's a question for you. Talking about good old days gaming. Why are games back in the good old days so good? You know, obviously, we've come a long way in terms of hardware and graphics. And yet, some of the things that I love watching most of all on YouTube are things like ZFG playing Zelda randomizers, or Bill playing Zelda randomizers. I know Bill was saying he doesn't get why people like watching randomizers so much. I think part of it has to do with the narrative that you bring to it, but also a big part of it is just adds replayability to the game, man. The fact that you have different items in a different order each time means that you're going in a completely different sequence than what the game originally intended for you. And that makes it more of like a roguelike in that regard. Like, I imagine one of these days, eventually they'll have a Rune Fencer Illyia randomizer, in which you get entrances swapped to different areas. Bosses will drop different things. Like, part of the whole appeal of a roguelike, for instance, is replayability. That's its main selling point. Whether it's something like Hades or The Binding of Isaac. The fact that you can have a new run every time means that you don't get bored as easily of it. But then there are other games, like Banjo-Kazooie, for instance, who technically have randomizers, but they're not that great, at least not yet. And yet, it's a game that I keep coming back to over and over again. Part of it is undoubtedly the music in all of those games. They have an amazing soundtrack that lets you just have chill, comfy vibes all the time. Some of the worlds in Zelda or Banjo-Kazooie are actually pretty cozy, too. Like, I could see myself living in Click-Clack Wood, for instance. Or, you know, Kikiriko Village from Breath of the Wild. They also just put a lot of love and care into games back in the day. Whereas now, you know, a lot of people are very cynical and corporate and just churning out garbage. Okay, so that one doesn't have a rolling attack. It's going to be interesting to see how we make use of the Moonblade up here. Right, onwards to adventure. Can we actually jump up there? That's another question. Like, for instance, my partner was watching my playthrough of this, and he had noted that if one thing was absolutely crystal clear, it's that the devs put a lot of love into this game. Which is very true. Like, every single thing in this is handcrafted. You know, they have a lot of respect for their audience. Hello. Interesting. So you can get over there. Actually, this is good. Dying there was strategic on my part. Totally not an accident. Because now we're going to be able to get back up to that area without having to climb back up. Just blow past you. Sorry, Ellie. Alright. So... problem is I can't see where I'm going. Oh. That's where I wanted to go. Alright, tactical death. Except now we lost all our hard-earned money. Alright, well, it'll be worth it to see what's over there. It's probably just a skeleton on a ledge with nothing of interest, but if there's a chance that it's one of the moonstones that we need... then it'll be worth it. Either way, having information is definitely worth it. If not for me, then for you watching at home. Dang, I missed again. Crap. I need to go left after that. Alright, don't worry, children, we'll get it. Talking about, the good old days of gaming, one of my all-time favorite games, and in my opinion, probably one of the best Zelda games of all time is... Huh. Why did our thing appear there? Curious. Anyway, as I was saying, one of my all-time favorite Zelda games, there's definitely something on that ledge. I could even finish a thought. Anyway, one of my all-time favorite Zelda games is Majora's Mask, which will be unsurprising to about half of you and completely cringe to the other half of you. Actually, this is going to be a controversial opinion. I actually think it's better than Ocarina of Time by, like, a large margin. Which is ironic going back to it. There's definitely something there. Okay, let's try not dying this time. And I say that even knowing that there are a lot of things in Majora's Mask that really annoy me. For instance, the beaver race. Or most of the things at Great Bay Temple. Although one thing I will say for Great Bay Temple is that it actually made a water level fun. Which is a rarity. And I have a hypothesis on that, actually. That part of the reason why water levels suck so bad... I'm gonna kill you when I get up there. Thought I was joking. Anyway. Part of my hypothesis as to why water levels are so bad is because the swimming mechanics suck. In a lot of games, it's basically the equivalent of, like, Superman 64 flying. Food ticket. That's not what I was expecting. It's also not a medallion. Oh, this is perfect. Full health. So one of the things that makes Majora's Mask a lot different is the fact that their swimming mechanics don't suck. I saw that coming a mile away. And actually the layout of the dungeons is exceptional as well. Although my personal favorite is probably Icona Castle. We should save here. Absolutely. See if we can actually make use of this great sword here. Okay, that did something. Alright, we're gonna get a horn for ourselves before we're leaving. Did I say before we leave? I meant after we come back. Still not sold on the Moonblade. We get a crystal heart for our troubles. Yeah, we'll get a spear as well. Or we'll just leave. Wait, was there anything up here? Don't think so. Is there more stuff over here that we didn't get? That's possible. Jeez, Illyia. No, I know, it's just the elevator crashing. This guy doesn't have anything else to say. Yeah, I think the only thing up there was... That's not gonna work. Can we break this? No. I'm really hoping we didn't screw ourselves. Something I did think about when I was going through my footage from the last playthrough. Oh, we didn't check this yet. Let's do that real quick. Moonguard forms a defensive arc of homing runic stars. So I wasn't particularly impressed with this one before. We're not going to talk about that. Do I have any foodstuffs? I do. We should be eating the foodstuffs. You know what? We should be cooking the foodstuffs. I only have 3 flint, though, so... Need to be careful. Mushrooms. Make cream of mushroom soup. That's a new one. Garden soup. Savory chowder-like soup made from stewing vegetables in a large iron pot. Blah, 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 blah. I'm able to afford more expensive ingredients. So, it gives 2 bonus energy, but energy down. What happens if we just cook a bunch of bones? Not surprising. Can we make nut bread? Nope, we cannot. Kind of want to save that. Yeah, so what I was saying is something else that I figured out while watching through my footage is there was that one area where we found Arlen and Chia. I think I might be able to use the elevator to blast over that. Yeah, the moon guard does not seem particularly helpful. This guy's power, on the other hand. How do you like being knocked into the next loading zone? Come on. Did I mention in my last playthrough that this game is actually hard? Fine, we'll eat the crackers. Whatever, we have a horn. Let's just go. Take the money and run. Yeah, so this elevator we can't jump on top of, but the ones in the central shrine we can. So I'm wondering if we could do a triple jump off of that one and use that to help give us a boost in the stairs area. That actually seemed like a really good power for taking out these guys. New info unlocked. Bats inhabiting the caverns of Ethos are annoying and annoyingly territorial and cowardly, incensed at intrusions but quickly fleeing the scene. Alright. Thought maybe it was some more interesting lore behind that, but I guess not. At least they're relatively easy to take out. Take them down in one shot. Alright, there's nothing else over here for us. That's an idea for a speed run. Best percent. How quickly can you sit in every chest? I don't want you, I just want your rune. See if this one has a nice dodge. Still don't know what we do with this. Alright guys, I'm gonna leave it off here. Before we go down this path of no return, I'm gonna double check and see if there's anything else we missed, if there's any way that we could have gotten it. And if so, I'm probably gonna restart the run and just skip over all that stuff. And if not, then in the next episode, we'll just continue on where we left off and make our way towards 100%. Alright? So, for now, just take care.